It's cold too.
You've got to teach
You're
it
live.
teach it to obey.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the special meeting of the Town Board of Town of Baltimore. Tonight, we have a presentation from our good friend from Good Energy, Mr. Javier Rios, and he's going to get up and have a few things to say. This is about your energy program, also known as Constellation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
CCA, Town of New Baltimore, CCA. Good evening. Happy holidays. This is the second meeting, mandatory meeting for the CCA program. The last meeting that we had, there has been some changes at the Public Service Commission, believe it or not, which has put in place additional meetings during the launch of the program. So we have to have about 2 other meetings in the month of January, and then 1 more meeting during February. And I'll go into that, explain that. The last meeting that we had, it was a public meeting, information meeting, and since then a new order from the Public Service Commission changing some of the outreach rules of the program, very important. The last time I spoke, we did not have these rules. So this is a big surprise to everybody and news to everybody in the public that we're doing this. So I probably wouldn't have had to come back for another public meeting until February or late January, but now we have to fit in these many meetings because of the program. So whether you like it or not, you're going to see me again several times for January, going over the same program rules. And really the important thing is so that people can come and ask questions if they missed anything from the November 25th meeting or any of the advertisements, if they missed any postcards that we're going to send out in the next couple of weeks. If they missed any of that stuff, they have multiple opportunities to come. And it's good for, I think the public officials, because there's no excuses. Nobody has excuses to say there was no meeting or they didn't tell me or, and I think that's where the Public Service Commission is coming from. They're trying to avoid, some of the feedback where people said, I did not hear about this. Why wasn't I told about this stuff? So this is why the repeat meetings are going to happen, and it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. So you're going to, I'm going to say, go through the same slides, go through the same rules, go through the same.
So in
process.
essence, Javier, the Public Service Commission is requiring us to have this?
Yes.
And where are they on the 23rd of December?
That's a great question.
2024?
That is a great question. All I know is that you're here and I'm here, and so it's tomorrow's Christmas Eve and I host, so I got to get back. So
You should want the party with you.
yes. Okay. There are handouts of the presentation that I have here. It's the same presentation that I gave. In the second slide, it talks about where you can contact your local official or your stakeholder, your CCA administrator. It would be obviously Good Energy is the CCA administrator, and in your PowerPoint presentation, there's a number, an 800 number for us. There's also the number for Constellation, which was the supplier that we picked, the vendor we picked. We went out to bid in August, September timeframe, and unfortunately, we didn't have a rate that continued the program in December. So everyone, unfortunately, had to go back to Central Hudson for starting December to March. And I have a little bit of information with regard to that. Central Hudson rates are actually very good in December. They've been pretty low. So actually, it's favorable for you guys to be on Central Hudson right now. You're going to start up again in March, but for December's, it's pretty good. I think it's kind of like in the 5-cent range at the moment. It hasn't been that low in many, many months, many years. So that's good for you. No one at the moment right now in December, no one is on the program. Everybody that was participating is back to Central Hudson. You probably got letters in the mail since the last time I spoke, correct? Saying that you were dropped and you went back to Central Hudson. You probably didn't, some people in the audience didn't get it because they were not part of the program. So you're not going to get a drop notice if you're not part of the program. So if you are part of the program, then you would have received a drop notice, and you were unenrolled from the CCA program. So again, for the next few months, you're going to be on that. An important website that I need to share with everybody is www.greencountycommunityenergy.com. That's where all the resources are, all the information. The opt-out letters will be there. The RFP document is there if anybody wants to look at that. Some of the earlier outreach that was sent, postcards, opt-out letters, various information. It's a library, so many things will be updated in the coming weeks. So if you have any questions and you want to also find any numbers of the CCA administrator, the supplier, the municipality, you can go to greencountycommunityenergy.com. Just to tell you a little bit about the basics of the program again, community choice aggregation is an aggregation of households and small businesses. It's an opt-out program, meaning that you are put into the program and you have 30 days to opt out. You have a period to opt out. If you do nothing, you will stay on the program. So you are automatically enrolled unless you, opt out. The reason for the opt-out, the automatic enrollment, is so that we can have economies of scale, so that we can have a bulk buying situation. If we were to do this onesie-twosies, you don't have the same command of the pricing and market that you would if you were, doing it with your neighbors, essentially. So you want to have that bulk buying. Good Energy is the CCA administrator. We are registered with the Public Service Commission, approved to actually administer and manage this program. You can't just do it unless you are a CCA administrator, and that we have that designation. The role of the municipality is also to facilitate information. So there is your public officials that you can go, a municipal liaison here at the town of Brookhaven. It's on the website. You can call the general number, and obviously they are a partner in this as well, and ultimately decide whether they want to stay on the program or not. And so they have the ultimate decision making power to actually move forward with the program or not go forward with the program. One of the things that's very interesting with the program and the product is that this product provides an optionality for customers. It also provides a budget secure supply cost. And I'll go into that a little bit later on when I talk about the bills. So Good Energy's involved in administering all the outreach, education, running the bid, the price discovery, understanding the markets, and providing those updates to the municipality, and doing renewals and launching of any new programs. And if there's any other energy type programs, we can certainly help the municipality get involved, such as community solar, energy efficiency, demand response. So we do several other types of services. Bottom line is we want to leverage all the homes in the community so that we can provide better technology, innovation, and better energy products. Specifically now on the bills, there's two designations in the community, rate designations or rate classes that are eligible. SC1 customers as well as SC2 customers. An SC1 customer is a residential customer, and SC2 customer is a small commercial. Those are eligible accounts. Those that are ineligible are customers that have a block on their account. Those that are part of the energy assistance program, those who are low to moderate income, and those that are already on an ESCO rate or supply rate. So if you're on a supply rate, you will not get a letter that you're part of the program. On the bill, we spoke about this last time. There's two components. There's the delivery component, which is managed by Central Hudson, the billing process managed by Central Hudson, and then there's the supply portion. The supply portion is what we're locking in, and I'll go into that specific rate. So there's a supply, delivery. We are only controlling the supply cost.
Pardon me.
And in that, the delivery cost the only way that changes is if there's a rate request or an increase, a petition with Public Service Commission, that there's a rate increase with Central Hudson, so it doesn't just go up, every month. The supply cost from Central Hudson fluctuates, and the very important difference between the product that the CCA offers is that it's a fixed rate, as opposed to all the utilities in New York have an index rate, and they select from the day-ahead market, and the day-ahead market fluctuates on a 5-minute interval every day, and then that settlement month is what goes on your bill. So that's why your rates change every single month. There is no fixed price buying from the utility. They just take what is available for that particular month, and that's it. Where we actually lock in the forwards market and fix rates for you, and that's what we did in this particular instance. So just to talk about the rates, specifically for New Baltimore, the CCA fixed rate starting in March, because remember you go back in this month and up until March, where you get enrolled again with the CCA program, is 8.815. The trailing 12 months is 8.918, so you're slightly better. So I would say you're break even, but that's just the trailing 12 months for Central Hudson. At the time that we locked in the 8.815 rate, that month for Central Hudson, it was 10.187. So that particular month, August into September, was 10.187. That was the published rates that we compared it to. So those were the two comparisons. The Public Service Commission only allows us to be within 5% of the price to compare. Otherwise, everybody has to go back to the utility. And that's pretty much what happened December. So we could not beat a rate that started in December. We were a little bit too high. We also looked at some renewable offerings, and there was a tremendous premium. So we and the board here, town board, decided not to move forward with those kind of prices. Okay. All right, so how to enroll into the program? You don't have to do anything. If you do nothing, you're automatically in. You're going to receive an opt-out letter in the month of February. You're going to have 30 days to opt out, and you have several methods to opt out. Number one, you can send back the card in the mailer. That's in with your opt-out letter and your information. Self-addressed stamp card. Send that in. That's easy. You could also call the 800 numbers, whether Constellation or Good Energy. You could also call. You could also go online on Greene County Community Energy. We have a tab where it says opt out. You click that, fill out the form. We get that, and we can opt you out. Not a problem. I do want to say that our number to opt out, if you do decide to call, is 833-475-5228. I'm going to repeat that, 833-475-5228 if you want to opt out and just rather make a quick phone call. And that's the end of my presentation. Went through all the basics, the mandatory rules of the program, and I now have to open it up for questions. So if anybody has a question. Yes.
Would you explain that 5%?
So for example, if let's say the rate is 10 cents and it's 12 months was that's what you saw from Central Hudson or your utility, 10 cents. We can't be 5% above that 10 cents. We have to be within 5. If it's above 5%, so it's a higher number, right? So if I'm whatever 5% is of 10. We have to be within that range. If it's above that, we cannot move forward with it.
That would be 50 cents.
10.50, whatever it is. Yeah. So, so that's essentially how that works. So you have to be within 5% to actually move forward with the program. New York has that rule. Other CCA states do not. It's the only state that has that rule. They decided that is, they felt that it helps secure certain budgets for people and ease people's like minds on whether they're over. I can tell you that we've signed CCA rates that were 10%, 15% over, and we ended up winning. For example, we had a program in the O&R utility for natural gas, and the mayor understood commodities and felt that natural gas was going to go up, and heating, it was tied to heating. So we were in a very light, kind of not a shoulder month, which wasn't a lot of heating at the time. And he felt that there was going to be a ramp up when the winter came because, you use natural gas for heating. And he was right. And it was like a 300% increase for the utility rate. So that's an example where, having restrictions of within 5% could be a little tough.
Does the 5% refer to the rates in the month that your rates are being set?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't
Only that
explain.
1 month?
Yeah, I didn't explain that properly. It's the trailing 12-month published rates
Okay,
for Central Hudson. So
So
it has
it's
to
an
be it's an average.
thank you.
Yeah, where the average here was, I think I said it was 8.9,
Mhm.
and you're slightly below that, 8.8.
You spoke of, there's a couple things I wanted to ask. You spoke of, the people that are blocked won't be getting these letters.
Yeah.
You said something about people who are on energy assistance won't get them either?
Yeah, any low-income
No.
programs that they get,
Let me-
EAP.
Let me ask you this question, because some of that doesn't make perfect sense to me. But this has had a history over the past, 8 years of saving, overall, saved a lot of money
On average, around $300 a year
per customer
per customer.
in the town of Baltimore.
Yes.
Don't you think when you say energy assistance, does that mean government is paying?
Yeah.
What do
they
you
get
think government
subsidies.
would want to spend $300 less?
The government.
No, that's their job,
Wouldn't
spend
you-
money.
I'm just thinking, but the other question I have is, wouldn't they, the people on assistance,
Yeah.
assistance doesn't mean it's paid for entirely.
Well, they get
When they wanna
subsidized,
save
they
money,
get an
they don't have much
artificially
money.
subsidized rate, so their rate is lower. So if you were to,
Oh,
you have to
I
beat
see.
that rate.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
So the rate is already lower, so in order for us to switch them, it would have to be better. And it's hard to do when you're already like artificially at a.
And what about new homes and new owners of homes? How do they?
They're eligible customers, so if
So they'll
anybody,
get notification.
definitely, or if anybody moved into a new home, somebody got out, that person, let's say, a person opted out of the program. And then you have a new homeowner taking over that home. What we do is we send out opt-out letters every quarter to those new newly eligible accounts, which could be new homeowners. So newly eligible accounts will get those
So
letters.
then the last question is, you have someone who's either been blocked or had a block put on, is a better way to put it, or you will have, maybe even someone who's come off of energy assistance.
Yeah.
They won't get a letter.
They will.
However, if they've been blocked, they won't.
Not if they've been blocked.
How do they get on it if they change their
So
mind?
if anybody blocks an account, they would have to call Central Hudson and unblock it. You can only, the customer, the owner of the account is the only person that has the authority to block an account. They have to verify the address and that they are the person
But
that's
they
on
won't
that
get a
bill.
letter offering this to them.
They would not get a letter, no.
Okay.
So if anybody thinks they're blocked and they want to be in the program, they first have to call Central Hudson, unblock themselves, then call us, and then we can enroll them in the next billing cycle.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a question about Columbia Utilities Power and Light.
Mhm.
According to the Times Union article, did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh. And now $1.5 million has to
So-
be more or less sent back to the customers.
Yes, that we never, I could say that we never engaged with Columbia. That's another CCA administrator.
Oh, yeah, I got
And
that.
we do no business with Columbia Utilities.
How do we know that the same thing won't happen with you that happened with this other?
Well, it's a great point. Columbia Utilities was the ESCO, like Constellation is the ESCO. We are the administrator. So first of all, let me say that it wouldn't happen to us. the question is, would it happen to Constellation? Constellation is a publicly traded, company that really is, very operationally ready to run these programs. They run, several hundred of our programs out of the state of New York and in New York. So very reputable, they own, utilities in Baltimore, DC, they're based out of DC. They're one of the largest generation competitive energy companies in the country,
Well,
so.
The only problem I have with this is, according to this literature, the company has to pay back 1.5 million.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm sure, the way money works, that when they dispense these funds to the general public that in the beginning paid them, some of these people are gonna get a big dollar or $40 to settle what amounted to $1.5 million.
I'm not privy to any of the economics on that deal, but what I can tell you is the reason that there was a settlement is because midstream, they basically de-enrolled everybody in the program and put them back when Central Hudson rates were close to like 22 cents, 17 cents. And they liquidated their positions in the market for whatever reason.
Right.
But that's the reason why they have to pay back their money, because they had a contract and then they terminated the contract. And it seems that it wasn't a legal termination.
Okay, and then my next question is going to be, you have to be pretty, adept at managing and moving monies. Somehow this company managed to do it, as you said, picking up the low fee and working to their advantage. How long have you been in business per se?
Good Energy and myself as,
No, I don't know.
25 years. I'm one of the partners, so I've been with the firm since the beginning, so close to 25
And
years.
you, as a partner, gain salary, income, monies?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
Well, some people will sell you a bunch of malarkey and, I'm not making anything on
But
it.
we're not an ESCO, we're a registered CCA administrator. We're not a energy services company or a supplier. So let's make that distinction. We don't take the same positions that they do.
Okay,
We are, you think of us as a consultant administrator. That's what we are. Consultant, administrator, broker. That's our designation. We are not a supplier. So we are advisors, and that's our role. Our role is advising clients the very best product for their particular needs.
well, the only reason I'm really challenging, I think is a good word for this,
Good question.
is the fact that New Baltimore is not it's not Bethlehem, it's not Saratoga. We're pretty basic people here, and I wouldn't say we got too many millionaires in the wash. I don't want to see the people that are here that sign up with you putting out this money and then in the long run end up getting maybe 5 cents on the dollar back.
Yeah, I have no opinion on what happened, and my statements are just that. I don't know any of the dealings with
Okay.
Columbia Utilities and the CCA administrator, and I would be out of
No.
line trying to
Well,
explain
this
that.
jumped out at me.
Yeah.
After I had been to listening to you a
I
couple
told
of
you what I
times.
knew, and I, it's a little, very little that I know, so.
Okay.
All right. Well, anybody else?
No.
What do you know? How do you know? Thank you very much. We will see you soon.
Twice next month?
Yes.
Twice next month? Twice in
Yeah,
January?
you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, we are scheduling, we're still coordinating a couple of meetings. We have, I think, 2 set up, but we want to confirm them before we post them in print ads. So, yes, there will be new meetings, information to come on the CCA website. Once we get those confirmed, there will be some print ads. We'll put it on the Facebook, and everybody will know when that would be in, 2 in January and 1 in hopefully late February if it works. I know you have a 27th meeting, I'm hoping to do it a little bit before that.
This posting we put on Facebook was exactly the same as the posting for the previous meeting, with the difference being the date.
Correct.
Can we at least make it look different?
Absolutely. You want my face on it?
No, I
Make it
don't.
a real Facebook?
No, I think that,
Did you hear him? He said no right away, like, no, I don't want your face on
I
it.
want people to show
I'm
up.
not the face of you
Well,
both.
that's the issue. How do you shake the branches to get the people to come out?
I drive you around.
Oh, yeah, right. That'll be the day.
With a bullhorn?
Don't need one. She doesn't need one.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll vouch you a sleeping bag so you can stay here for the next couple.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Actually,
If I wasn't hosting Christmas Eve, I'd say yes.
Oh, it's an excuse.
well, drive safe and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Be careful walking out the steps.
All right, I
It's
think we have
slippery.
5 minutes
Yeah,
before our meeting.
right.
I'm gonna get a glass of water
Okay.
and,
Remember the owl is
He
moving.
loves you. Give him a call. He loves talking. He's like,
for those listening on TV, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
After a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, we didn't have so. Sponsor.
Everything.
Do you know who signed that card that I got?
What's that? Yeah, listen, I'm not, so I don't like. I just think it'd be-
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's from Deb.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't read her signature. And I said, well, now, is that Jen or is that? And she's talking about her newborns. She needs some.
I think we might get maybe one or two.
Okay, I'll get.
What's that?
Regarding phone more.
Oh, okay.
You too.
I actually have a couple trees that are on the property. Go to.
Yeah, I brought up a big dog.
One was minus one.
And my daughter.
It was minus 15. I feel like, well, I feel like it's 6.
Oh.
Minus 30.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I get the online, so I get all the feeds, so I know, I won't go and just a little explanation. If you get, Indra, they're, oh my God, you're telling me, so Indra, make sure you tell people, no, Indra Power. Indra is the one that.
Jim, you walked over
They
in
came
that
up
hole.
work with us, and we're like, no,
Jim.
you know, they never passed muster. I said, send me financials. They never did.
See, that's what I got.
Walked over in the cold.
So good question. I like that you brought that up.
Thank you.
I had, I got another
No?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, they heard a lot of people.
This is the good thing about the long coat, it looks like a blanket at the same time.
True.
That's what I thought.
Are the Taylor home?
You're welcome. I didn't find your address, so I just, you're right.
All you gotta do is put Independence Lane. I got, just give me, I just got letters and cards from my stepson in Puerto Rico saying, Ellie Alpha. Another time it was Grandma Ellie. I have gotten cards with the mail and I can't believe it.
That's great.
I depend.
That's all it says, Grandma Ellie, no address?
Yeah, no,
The post office knows to bring it to you?
That's amazing.
that's what happens when you have good relations with your postman.
Does it have your road on it?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Some of them don't.
There's gotta be more than one Grandma Ellie in Baltimore.
You think?
There's
Yeah,
gotta be.
maybe.
I wish they would have gotten his letter.
Oh,
All right.
So now you have to opt out though, right? You got.
As soon as
didn't you
Barb
get
joins
something to
us,
opt
we're
out?
going to get going.
No, I've been up out
Speaking
since
of
the
the devil.
beginning.
You didn't get the letter at all, that's right.
What?
all right.
Barbara, you losing weight?
Yes. I'll explain why later.
Well, no, I just noticed it in that outfit. I've seen you in it before.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Town of Baltimore work meeting. Today is the 23rd of December of 2024. And so I'd like to get started, and we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So let me get started. Reports. Well, I have the supervisor's report. First, the monthly financial reports for November have been sent out. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'll make a motion to accept the November financial reports.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. This is a matter of reflection, if you don't mind, folks. This is for the board. The guidelines for public conduct during town board meetings, they're published and available every meeting. And we're probably going to make some subtle adjustments between now and take care of it on the meeting of the 1st of January.
Mhm.
So I would like everybody on the board, if you have some tidbit of change, email it to me and let me know if there's something you'd like to, tweak in one way, shape, or form. There's a couple things that we need to adjust from my perspective, and you might have your own thoughts on it. So we'll take care of that January 1 with your input. Okay. So resolution number 159 of 2024. Resolution to rescind and re-award bid for Schiller Park water main replacement. There's quite a bit of reading here, and I'll have to describe some things. Whereas the town of Baltimore, on behalf of Water District Number 2, Schiller Park, directed Delaware Engineering, DPC, to prepare plans and bid documents for the construction of the new HDPE water main to replace existing aging water main that serves Schiller Park. And whereas Delaware Engineering DPC prepared plans and bid documents and is conducting regulatory review and permitting for the water main replacement. And whereas the town of Baltimore intends to commit American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds to the water main replacement project to eliminate the burden of the water main replacement on the property, for the property owners in Water District Number 2, who are already burdened with excessive debt from the emergency water main replacement project conducted in 2020. And whereas sealed bids from the water main replacement were received by the town on November 13, 2024 from 10 contractors. And whereas on November 25th, 2024, the town board resolved to award the bid to Bellamy Construction as the lowest responsible bidder with modification to the bid amount. And whereas the town of Baltimore subsequently received additional documentation and recommendation to award from Delaware Engineering DPC, now therefore be it resolved. 1, the town board of the town of Baltimore hereby rescinds the resolution to award the bid for the Schiller Park water main replacement to Bellamy Construction with modifications to the bid amount. And the town board of the town of Baltimore hereby awards the bid for the Schiller Park water main replacement to Bellamy Construction in the amount of the base bid of $246,805. 3, the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to take whatever actions are necessary to carry out the award of the bid, including but not limited to executing the construction contract with Bellamy Construction. 4, this resolution hereby commits the town of Baltimore to expend $293,269.50 of ARPA funds to conduct the Shore Park Water Line Replacement Project. 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately. So I'm gonna make the motion. Looking for a second.
I'll second.
Motion made, and now it's time for discussion. So, as I pointed out at the last meeting, there were some adjustments in the costs.
Right.
And we had deducted them with conversations with Delaware Engineering. Subsequent to that that motion and that meeting, we had a meeting here about this bid, about what happened. And we brought the total cost from $370,000 down to $246,000. Even more than we thought. So that's pretty much how it has worked out. How did these costs get put in there? I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but somehow costs that would have, some costs were not were not there to benefit the residents of that water district. They were in benefit of people who lived in other communities and not New Baltimore. And so we removed those items, such as fire hydrants, each of which cost about 20, well, how much was it, Nick? 27.5, 2 fire hydrants in Cooksaki. We were able to eliminate another fire hydrant in New Baltimore because the codes for new districts require more fire hydrants. However, the actual lines in that district, we're not talking about the line going to the district, that was an unnecessary charge as well. So if you take, 3 of those at 27, now we're already at $106,000. And so there was a great deal of changes. Like I said, we're glad we spotted it, it will probably be less than the total amount of money that we have in ARPA. We may be able to save a little bit of ARPA for other expenses, other things, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it. How's that sound? I don't know if you have any thoughts or questions. I mean, I'm just giving you a little bit of the stuff that I know because we had the meeting. Yeah.
Question. Delaware Engineering, they never spotted that?
Nope. It's okay. This they pay me for. I think
it's
part
great
of-
that it's coming in at the amount that it is, and they're gonna be able to save some funds.
Without being denigrating any other parties, I think that part of this issue is been compounded by things that have gone on in the past roughly, I even go back as far as 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere around 12 years ago, there were 2 parcels swapped out from the town of New Baltimore. We gave a parcel of property,
Mm-hmm.
and it is now in the town of Cooksaki.
Right.
They, in return, gave us a parcel. It's now in the town of New Baltimore. And the water lines come through those particular parcels, and the water line for the town of Cooksaki and the town of New Baltimore meet in that very same section, which has caused a lot of, let's say, I don't want to say confusion, but it certainly muddies up the water. And so it was easy for someone who doesn't live here to miss. And that's all I want to say. I don't want to, again, throw mud at anybody. This is Christmas time.
Jeff, could this have happened when the boundary lines for the town of New Baltimore and the town of Cooksaki were finally adjusted?
It has a role. And again, how do the people that did that know something is gonna happen?
Well, I
Or that the water line's
understand
gonna
that,
break
I
10 years later.
understand that, but that's
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
thing I could understand
No.
it happening with.
Yeah.
And that is about 10 or 15 years ago.
It was before I was on the board.
I know,
It-
I
again,
know
it's,
who was on the
You
board.
know, one doesn't know what's going to happen, you know,
Mhm.
those many years later. So anyway, that's the best I could do to explain it. I
Okay.
would think the water line swerves into and out of and back into the town of Cooksaki in New Baltimore. And, who owns what?
So what happens for the payments now that are gonna have to be made by certain people?
Those payments for that section of, that was New Baltimore's cost.
Okay,
Those payments are still those payments.
okay.
That's not affected. It's the, you know, it's okay. We don't have to put fire hydrants in Cooksaki, is basically what it comes down to, okay? So anyway, we have a resolution made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank God, let's get that done. Okay, resolution number 160 of 2024, resolution to reduce speed limit on Deans Mill Road. Whereas the town board of the town of Baltimore has been requested by the residents of Deans Mill Road, a town-owned and maintained road in the town of Baltimore, to lower the speed limit on said road. And whereas the town supports this safety concern for the residents on said road, therefore be it resolved that the town board approves the reduction of the speed limit on Deans Mill Road from 40 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour. And be it further resolved that this resolution be forwarded to both the highway superintendent for the town of Baltimore for the acquisition of appropriate signs and posts, and to the Greene County Highway Superintendent for his submission to the New York State Department of Transportation for their approval. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Just so you know that the approval from the state for the Aquatuck Road change took at least a year.
Yeah,
It takes a
but-
while.
Yeah.
All right, town clerk's report.
4 building permits. Falling apart at the seams here. 4 building permits, $1,080. 2 building permits, septic systems, new, $75. 1 easy pass tag, $25. 8 hunting and fishing licenses, $17.55. 6 dog licenses, $42. 1 special use permit variance, non-commercial, $40. 12 certified copies, $120. 1 genealogical search, $22. 2 recycle fees, $93. 1 sign, $75. Total state, county, and local revenues, $1,859. $8 to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets for the spay-neuter program. $261.45 to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for hunting, fishing licenses. Total to supervisor, $1,589.55. Amanda and I attended the Columbia Green Town Clerk's meeting, which included training from New York State Archives Records Advisory Officer Michael Martin. I received a check for $37,167, which is the first half of our records management grant. I would like to correct misinformation from the December 9th, 2024 regular town board meeting. As the board is aware, April Crine was appointed as a part-time clerk for the building, planning, zoning offices. We are so lucky to have her, which has been affirmed by the Code Enforcement Officer, Planning Board, and Zoning Board of Appeals chairs. April Crine is not a deputy town clerk. She would probably leave. Her title is part-time clerk, and she reports directly to the Code Enforcement Officer and the Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals. It is from that position that she files the monthly reports to the town board and completes the minutes. There is no job title deputy clerk in the town of New Baltimore, and there are 2 deputy town clerks, Amanda Eldred and Sandy Tromblin, and we work together to serve our residents.
Thank you, Town Clerk Fink. So we have a few minutes of, to approve. So the minutes have been sent out. I'll start with November 13th, Town Board regular meeting. I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On November 25, 2024, Town Board work meeting. I'll make a motion to approve those.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Lastly, the meeting minutes of December 9th of 2024, regular board meeting. I'll make the motion to approve those.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I don't have anything from historian. Anything for agriculture?
No, we haven't even. met
Animal
yet.
control, we have something here, do we not?
do.
Would you want to take that one, Chairperson?
I would be
Cash.
delighted, Supervisor Russo. This is Town of New Baltimore, County of Greene Resolution 161-2024, dated December 9th, 2024. Resolution authorizing supervisor to execute agreement with Columbia Green Humane Society. Resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with the Columbia Green Humane Society, SPCA, for the period January 1 through December 31, 2025, for shelter services at a rate of $40 per dog per day for the first 10 days of housing, and $350 will be added on the 11th day, where the dog will become the responsibility of the Columbia Green Humane Society, ASPCA. And these are the same rates that we paid last year.
We changed the date on that to the 23rd.
Yep.
With that change, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I just have a brief report from our DCO. These are her activities from September 1st through 12/22/24. On September 1st, a Malamute Shepherd was charging out trying to attack vehicles on Aquatuck Road. The dog was chasing a mail truck. Our DCO spoke to the owner and asked her to confine the dog and also gave her a license application because the dog was not licensed. On 9/21, a pit bull and Australian Shepherd mix was found on Old State Road. The owner was found and it was returned. On 11/15, a cat was found at the New Baltimore service area. The caller was asked to call Animal Kind to see if they might be able to come and trap the animal. On November 30th, a Basset hound wandered into a house on Route 54. The person who found the dog located the owner and returned it. On December 4th, 2 stray cats were reported as hanging around on 144. The caller was advised to call Animal Kind to see if they would be interested in coming and checking it out and possibly trapping them. On December 19th, a deceased cat was found on the side of 9W by Albright's. It was reported and the kitty cat was removed by the authorities, I assume. And so that's that. And just one more brief thing. Good news for people in our area, low-income pet owners. The Columbia Green Humane Society, SPCA, recently received 2 grants totaling $100,000, which will allow them to increase their services for low-income residents at their veterinary clinic. This includes low-cost spays and neuters, vaccinations, minor surgeries, dental cleaning, and a whole host of things that people would otherwise probably not be able to afford because they'll be getting them reduced prices.
Will they have food?
I think that they sometimes have food there that they give out to low-income folks, but this is the veterinary clinic, They run a pantry, yeah. right? And appointments are needed, so if anybody out there is interested, it's 518-828-6044, extension 100. And that'll do it.
All right, thank you. Can you pass this to the town clerk?
Yes.
Barb, that's the SPCA Humane Society contract? Okay. Okay, assessment. We have Chair Sarano and Cash. I don't know if they have anything to report. I'll read the resolution if you so wish.
Nothing to report.
All right. Resolution number 162 of 2024. Resolution setting a public hearing for a proposed local law to establish a new schedule of real property tax exemptions for persons 65 years of age or over, and persons with disabilities and limited incomes. Be resolved, the town board of the town of Baltimore will hold a public hearing on January 13, 2025 at 6:45 p.m. at the Town Hall, 3809 County Route 51, Hannah, New York, to hear those members of the public who wish to be heard regarding proposed local law number 1 of 2025, a local law to establish a new schedule of real property tax exemptions for persons age 65 or over, and persons with disabilities and limited income. So the proposed law of number 1 of 2025 reads as follows. A local law to establish a new schedule of real property tax exemptions for persons 65 years of age or over and persons with disabilities and limited incomes, be it enacted by the town board of the town of Baltimore as follows. Section 1. This local law is adopted pursuant to the authority of real property tax, section 459C and 467. All definitions, terms, and conditions of such statute shall apply to this local law and are incorporated herein. Section 2, local law number 5 of 2023 is hereby repealed. Section 3, the town board of the new town of Baltimore will follow the Greene County Senior Citizen Exemption and hereby establishes the following sliding scale of property tax exemptions for real property owned by persons age 65 or over, and for real property owned by a person with a disability whose income is limited by such disability and used as the legal residence for such persons based upon the income limits set forth below. Maximum limit is for incomes at 36,000 or lower, it's 50% property tax exemption. 36,001 penny to $36,999.99 is a 45% exemption. $37,000 to $37,999.99 is a 40% exemption. $38,000 to $38,999.99 is 35%. $39,000 to $39,899, it's a 30% exemption. $39,900 to $40,799.99 is 25%. And at $40,800 to $41,699.99, it's 20%. And $41,700 to $42,599.99 is 15%. And $42,600 to $43,499.99, it'll be a 10% deduction. And $43,500 to $44,399.99 is a 5% deduction, property tax exemption. Section 4, any person who qualifies for a property tax exemption as a person with a disability shall not be eligible for a property tax exemption as a person aged 65 years or over. Section 5, the maximum income limit set forth in Section 3 above shall be offset by medical and prescription drug expenses actually paid, which are not reimbursed or paid by insurance. And Section 6, this local law shall take effect immediately upon its filing in the office of the Secretary of State. So, just to set forth what we're doing here, the first part of this reading is what we're agreeing to tonight, and that is to have a meeting on the 13th. The meeting of the 13th is about the last part of that, with the income limits and of the like. So I'm going to make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, how about, voting grounds recycling? Well, since, Councilwoman Downs is not here, Councilwoman Van Etten, would you please take over?
Sure, the monthly report for December, from 11/27/24 to 12/23/24. We had 22 tires, 16-inch without rim for $88.
Wow.
4 up to and included 16-inch rim for $20, and we had none larger than 16-inch for a total of $108. We had 60 gallons of bags of plastic for 8, bundles of magazine and phone books, 27, bags and bundles of newspapers, 30, and boxes and bundles of cardboard, 86 for $108.
Thank you. You have another, code enforcement. That would be Chairwoman Down and/or Town Supervisor Russo. So we'll go forward. Summarization of code enforcement activities for December 2024 are as follows. Building inspections, 22. Total building permits issued, 3. Certificate of compliance issued, 3. Certificates of occupancy issued, 1. Certificate of occupancy search request, 2. New building permit applications received are 3. Demolition permit applications, 1. New septic system applications, 1. Building permit renewals, 1. Open building permits, 241. Building department fees for November 24, of $702.63. Total fees for the year are $23,330.33, submitted by Alan Jordan. Okay, Fire, EMS, and law enforcement, Member Delasanti, please.
The December 17th Greene County EMS meeting was not held on December 17th for the Christmas vacation. There were 25 EMS calls in November for a total of 224 for this year. We had year-to-date 85 strokes in Greene County and 53 overdoses in Greene County. Last year we had 171 calls for all of 2023. So we still have December to go, and we're already at 224.
Wow.
So
And what's our charges per call?
I want to say 252 and change in that area, but not all of these calls were transports, so
The subtle variance, yeah.
there's a variance in it.
Okay, so, we're up 50, at least.
Yeah.
53.
But the whole county is up, we're probably up about 700 calls for all of the county this year for some reason. That's a lot of calls.
People are sicker, people getting older,
I think
people are
it's,
doing what?
Or is it
I think we're
overdoses?
getting older. Check the gray hairs, but it's all coming to fruition right now in Greene County. 750 extra calls is a lot of calls.
You're not kidding.
Nick, are the overdoses
So,
different, are the overdoses increased over previous years?
well, 53 is about average. Okay. It's a terrible example, but that's throughout the whole county. And it's not just drugs itself, it's also medications as well. But 85 strokes is high.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You know,
Okay, we have a grant, resolution about grants, actually. Number 163, resolution authorizing Councilmember Van Etten and Supervisor Russo to apply for a 2025 Bank of Greene County Veterans and Seniors Grant. Resolved that Councilmember Shelley Van Etten and Supervisor Jeffrey Russo, Chair and member of the Youth Parks and Recreation Committee and Grants Promotion Economic Development Committee, are authorized to apply for a 2025 Bank of Greene County Veterans and Seniors Grant. So I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Highway, I guess that's gonna be me again. I don't have anything in here for planning board. Did you see something?
That's not for the Green County thing.
Oh, Green County Planning Board, yeah, there's, I will say that's probably gonna come off our list for 2025. Because they've reconstituted the, planning board, Green County Planning Board, and it used to be that there was a representative from each town, and they have indicated that there will be 5 members of the new Green County Planning Board, and that they are quote unquote to represent, how they say, a broad-based representation of the community. So the 5 people are inclusive, and I don't have perfect recall here. One of them is from the IDA, one of them is from the Green County Real Property, Economic Development. I know the County Highway Department Chair is on it, and heaven help me, I can't remember the other 2. But I don't think there's much reason for us to report that anymore. I guess, yes, we've had someone, but they've not met in 2 years.
I know we had some, but it doesn't sound like we have any coming anymore for us.
They're cutting out the towns,
Mhm.
in essence. So that's a thing of the past. So, Deb, you only have 8 more days to have to worry about that.
Oh, well.
I'll just immediately reconstitute it for
Okay,
you.
highway, let's go ahead with the highway. Okay, we picked up bagged leaves in the hamlet, vacuumed leaves from dishes and drains in the hamlet. Repaired exhaust leak on 2011 F-350 truck number 11. Put summer equipment away for the winter. Installed spill guards on new Salter, installed flashing lights on new Salter. Helped throughway maintenance haul dirt out of the service area on 144. Cut low-hanging limbs along the road after heavy snow. Replaced blown hydraulic hose on 85 Oshkosh plow. Installed headlight risers on 2023 6500. Okay, repaired backup lights on 2013 International plow. Met with highway rehab to look over road for paving next year. 12/5 called in early for snow. Plowed and salted roads. Washed all trucks. Adjusted rear brakes on 97 International plow truck. Worked on turbo on 2006 F-350. It is working again at the moment, but will need to be rebuilt at some point. Installed Newtown radio in 2023 6500. Radio company will be coming in January to install the antenna. Replace water filter at Town Hall. 12/13 called in 1 person to salt ice on School Hill Road at 7:30 p.m. that is. 12/15 light snow all night, called all in at 4 o'clock. Plowed and salted all roads. Welded cracks in wing of 97 International plow truck. Picked up pumpkins from in front of Town Hall.
I wondered where they went, but they didn't need to do that. We could have
We
done
didn't need a
that.
report on that either.
No. It's been a slow news day.
Thank you, Alan. It must have been a slow news day. Okay, cut several dead trees along road. Took 96 International truck to Albright's for inspection. Picked up deer parts on Shore Park Road. Early this month, we received 2 loads, about 80 tons of salt that were unusable due to high moisture content and large frozen lumps. I contacted American Rock Salt. They are delivering us 2 new, better quality loads, taking back what was unusable. This has been a problem with some highway departments throughout the county, including state DOT and county highway. I've also spoken to OGS, and they have told us that if the problem continues, they will allow us to purchase salt from a different vendor. I am happy to report that for the second year in a row, our highway department has been awarded a work zone safety grant from Cornell Local Roads, and we were receiving around $2,500 worth of work safety equipment at no cost to the town. Some items that will be received are ANSI Class 2 vests, hard hats, 2 18-inch stop slow paddles, 6 36-9,
Inch, I think.
I don't know if that's inch or 9-ish roll-up signs, 2 road work ahead signs, 2 open lane road signs, 2 flaggers ahead, 6 sign stands, and 20 reflective cones. We will also receive a work zone safety class for our employees at no cost. That's our report. Resolution 164 of 2023, a resolution to temporarily transfer funds from the Highway Reserve to Highway Contractual Account. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Baltimore has approved the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-350 on Resolution 106 of 2023 on September 11, 2024.
This is incorrect.
Well, it was done, it's a 2023. No, this is not correct.
This is incorrect.
You got a better one? Let's see. This is the same thing. Yeah, this was done last year. This is not correct. We're gonna table this.
I have it here, it has a Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, it's not on either of these. This is a F-350.
Let me give you.
Ford. Yeah, I'll read it from there. That's a great idea.
You got the right one?
Mhm.
She has it all here. She has everything. Okay, this is resolution number 164 of 2024, dated December 3rd, or 23rd of 2024. Resolution to transfer funds from Highway Reserve to Highway Contractual Account. Whereas the Town Board authorized the transfer of up to $170,709.25 from the Highway Reserve account to cover the following expenses. 1, 2023 Chevy Silverado, $94,500. That's for the new truck, the 2023 truck that we got. Brand new one that, mentioned was made of in the highway report. Plow and sander of $17,000. Engineering report is $24,209.25. That is for MJ Engineering. And of course, truck repairs of $35,000. Whereas the amount of funds currently in the New Baltimore Highway Department is low, and we restored upon receipt of 2023, no. I'm gonna strike that this section. Be it resolved, the town board approves the use of the Highway Reserve account to pay the bill for the 2023 Chevy Silverado and plow and sander and engineering report and additional truck repairs of $35,000. So I hope you've got all of that. And for discussion, we had $250,000 in our highway reserve. We spent, it wasn't budgeted for, it was not known of before the year started, $114,000 for that new truck with plow and sanders. Okay. Secondly, the engineering report is the MJ. Upon conversation, I believe Councilwoman Sotolano was there with me when we talked to the DOT, that we're gonna have a grant for up to $100,000 to pay for the engineering costs for the Safe Streets study. that is a grant that will come in, but the issue with all grants is, particularly from the state, is you have to spend the money first,
Right.
and then you get reimbursed.
Right.
So it does cause and can cause a deficit in the year you spend it. And you seldom get that money back in the same year. So anyway, that money's gotta come from someplace. And, so it's coming out of the highway reserve and going to be reimbursed upon reimbursement. And the last one was for the truck repairs. So I'll make that motion. Motion made and second. Any further conversation? I hope not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. So let's go to the planning board. That's all I have here. There's nothing under insurance, personnel, planning.
That would be me this evening.
Yep, please proceed.
Town of New Baltimore Planning Board Monthly Report for dated December 20th, 2024. The planning board met on November 14th, 2024 with the following business transacted. Mr. Slavik Kiselev came before the planning board requesting advisory on how to purchase his driveway easement from his neighbor, Mr. Bohm. Mr. Kiselev's property is located on a landlocked parcel within another parcel in the town of Cooksaki. Mr. Kiselev is also buying the parcel owned by Mr. Bohm, in which his parcel is located. He would like to connect his driveway to the parcel that he is purchasing from Mr. Bohm. The issue being that the parcel is located in the town of Cooksaki, and the parcel the driveway is located on is in the town of New Baltimore. Starting to sound familiar again.
Yes, once again.
The board discussed why it could not be a lot line adjustment because the two parcels are located in different municipalities. They also discussed a possible subdivision of the driveway piece, but the lot the driveway is located on is a non-conforming lot, essentially making two non-conforming lots from one. Another possibility was discussed about the potential for a flag lot being made to solve the issue. The board agreed that something needs to be done to ensure that Mr. Kiselev can access his property. The board suggested that it be sent to our town lawyer for review and also to the zoning board for their opinion on the matter. Chima proposed gas station convenience store. Rich from Nolan Engineering was there to represent this project along with Mr. Chima. The board asked for clarification that both the parcels this project would span were purchased by Mr. Chima. It was confirmed that the last sale went through in late October. The board also asked if the two parcels had been dissolved into one yet, and the reply was that it is still being worked on. The board asked about the well for the project since the well is not located on the parcel. They were assured there is an easement for the well and also for the sewer drainage. The board asked if there was enough water for a fire suppression system. Mr. Nolan replied that it was not required because the square footage is all at ground level. The board reviewed the memorandum from the town designated engineer. They went over all of the conditions that need to be corrected by Nolan Engineering. Then the board also reviewed the EAF pertaining to the project. The board accepted the site plan application on the conditions that two parcels be combined and that all the conditions on the memorandum from the town designated engineer were met. A motion was made to accept the site plan application with conditions. Motion was carried. A resolution for the ground mount solar array for David Mancini, represented by Castleman Solar, was brought back to the planning board for final approval. A motion was made to approve the variance for the solar array. Motion was carried. A resolution for the lot line adjustment for Monington Catsaros was read. A motion to accept the lot line adjustment was made. Motion was carried.
Motion to approve October 10th, 2024 meeting minutes was made and carried. A motion to approve the November 14th, 2024 meeting minutes was made and carried.
On the back.
Oops, and there's more. A brief discussion was had on when to approve back meeting minutes. A brief discussion was had on the expired Bristol Manor William Brandt project, which was going to be located on the property where the Chima proposed gas station / convenience store will be located. Chairperson Lee Salisbury announced his resignation. Robert Van Etten, Chair.
Thank you.
Have 2 resignation letters to read.
Proceed.
Okay. This is from Michelle Stefanik to, the building planning zoning clerk and Robert Van Etten, the chair, regarding Michelle's resignation. Hello, please accept this letter of resignation from my position as a member of the Town of New Baltimore, New York Planning Board as of December 31st, 2024. I have recently begun a new job that requires travel and extensive time commitment, and I cannot give the planning board work the time that it deserves. Regards, Michelle C. Stefanik. And this is to Robert Van Etten, Chairman, Town of New Baltimore Planning Board. Dear Mr. Van Etten, I, Leland Salisbury Jr., do hereby resign from the Town of New Baltimore Planning Board as of 12/31/2024. It has been an honor to serve the Town of New Baltimore as a planning board member. Thank you, sincerely, Leland Salisbury Jr.
Boy, you losing good people.
With that, you have to, I'll make a motion to accept the resignations of Michelle Stefanik and Lee Salisbury.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Anything for seniors?
Got the town court, so
Yep,
sorry.
we're coming.
There's nothing for seniors.
We're coming now.
Okay.
Okay, Tom, go ahead.
See,
It's getting close.
Almost made it.
whoa, now they're really growing up.
Well, we'll be able to hit the ground running with Chairwoman Cash, Chairperson Cash. I always get my terminology wrong. So, we're coming down to the end of the wire here.
I'll tell you, Michelle was great on that board,
Okay,
right?
proceed.
Okay. Town Court of New Baltimore report to the New Baltimore Town Board from Honorable James W. Huff, Honorable Anthony C. Consul. Subject monthly town court report dated December 23rd, 2024. The following is the Town of New Baltimore Court monthly report for November 2024. Total November monies received was $14,836. Of that, Honorable James W. Huff, $6,121. Honorable Anthony C. Consul, $8,715. Total 2024 monies received January through November, $163,505.50. Total new cases received 153, and I don't know if we have the
I
state
do.
numbers.
I have the state number 8,106, the county 60, the town 6,670. So from January to November, the state 84,294, the county 2,240, the town $76,971.50.
6,000. As a point for us all to recall, the budget for the 2024 was 80,000, so only a little bit less.
Mhm.
And there is still a little time left.
We'll get out and beat the band.
Yeah, well. Resolution number 165. Resolution to transfer insurance costs from the general fund to the sewer district. Whereas the town general fund paid for liability insurance for all accounts in the town, and whereas the amount of funds paid by the town from account A1910.4 totaled $48,792.33, and whereas $5,308 of said amount was expended on behalf of sewer operations, therefore be resolved, the town board transfers costs from A190.4 for the amount of $5,308 to account SS 8110.4. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. For a brief discussion, we've done this in last year and so on. We didn't always do it. But a portion of the cost to the town comes from sewer operations, so liability. So that's what this is. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Nothing under youth and park zoning.
Town of New Baltimore Zoning Board of Appeals monthly report. The Zoning Board of Appeals met on December 4th, 2024, in which the following business was transacted. A public hearing was held on December 4th, 2024, regarding a variance for a ground mount solar array for the property of David Mancini, represented by Castleman Solar. The solar array exceeded the town's maximum kilowattage of 25 kilowatts by 4.63 kilowatts for a total of 29.63 kilowatts. The resolution was read and a motion was made to grant a negative declaration for the purpose of seeker. The variance was granted with no conditions. Randy Lent came to the board with a variance application for setbacks. His new proposed house and garage would not meet the required setbacks for the town of New Baltimore. The required setback for a property in the RA district is 15 feet from the sides, and Mr. Lent's proposed garage setback would only be about 3.5 feet on the left side of the property. The board discussed the situation. Some members suggested Mr. Lent could ask for a lot line adjustment from his sister's neighboring property or possibly change the square footage of his proposed garage. The board advised Mr. Lent they would have to look into it more. William Bulkey, Chair.
Thank you. So let's get to upcoming meetings. January 1, as mentioned earlier, is the town offices are closed for New Year's Day, except that at 2 p.m. there'll be a town board organizational meeting. January 8th, zoning board of appeals at 7. January 9th, planning board at 7. January 13th, town board regular meeting at 7.
With a public hearing that we need to add.
Oh, with the public hearing, yes, thank you. January 13th, public hearing on assessment and senior exemptions at 6:45. January 20, town offices closed for Martin Luther King Day. January 27th, town board work meeting at 7 p.m. Now we have a public comment period, and we have a card here from Miss Ellie, Grandma Ellie. We'd like to speak on the settlement down south.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to make an adjustment to that as far as speaking. I think I did what I needed to do with the representative that was here. But I would like to know if the board has seen the write-up in the Times Union about Greene County bond rating. It was upgraded, and I thought this was very important to us as members. They have a credit rating, Mainstay has upgraded Greene County bond rating. The upgrade was announced by Moody's Investors, which changed the Hudson Valley County Board rating from A2 to AAA. We're at the top of the line. And the reason being is, it goes on a little bit more to tell you that the way that the legislators have maintain their sales tax and the handling of their collection of monies has put us really over the top as far as ratings. I think that's a very good, comment for the town and the county, so.
Very good.
Thank you.
One other thing, I'm sorry, but I didn't hear in this board's minutes, meetings, had the hotels in our town had their inspections done yet?
I don't know.
I would think that the board would look into it. We are coming to the end of a year. We do collect monies for this process. And when I notified the board probably 2 months ago or more, they still had not been done. That's, I believe, an annual thing.
5 seconds.
Yes,
Right, yeah, we can check on that.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next item on our agenda is resolution number 166 of 2024. Resolution to authorize the supervisor to pay audited claims, whereas the town clerk is presenting claims to the town board for audit and review, and whereas the town board has audited claims 2023B-12-01 to 2023B-12-27. It is resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay claims 2023B-01-12-01 to 2023B-12-27. And be it further resolved that the town board will prepare an abstract and hold it for public review until January 31, 2025. I'll make that. Okay, so I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
General, $17,995.96. Highway, $6,838.21. Sewer one, $2,538.08. Water two, $12,470. Ambulance one, $5,085.99. Ambulance two, $51,494.38. Total $96,422.62.
Thank you. Okay, so one more matter of business to attend to. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, and do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You better not be. Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Have a great Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you may have.
You could have both,
Good.
and festivus for the rest of us.